Good Monday evening, everyone. This is your 7 p.m. update that I promised earlier today. We're seeing the radar kind of light up with precipitation. If you can't really make out what's going on there, this is pretty much a big shield of rain that's developed now between Crossville and Nashville. Temperatures are cold. We're around 40-ish here on the Cumberland Plateau, depending on where you are, 38 to 41. Looking west, Nashville's reporting 37. Looking west of there, it's 34, 33. So the cold air is not far away, and precipitation is already mixing across West Tennessee, and that will be sliding our way as we go through the night. So look for some sprinkles and some rain showers out there for the next couple of hours before more solid rainfall begins to settle into the region. Winter weather advisories have not changed from the 2 o'clock update. Those will likely expand a bit as we go through the night. Sometimes winter weather advisories aren't issued for our area until we have a little bit of wintry precipitation being reported. So sometimes the Weather Service holds off on that until we see that. Where the winter weather advisories are now is where confidence is the greatest and impacts overnight into the early morning hours of Tuesday, but especially overnight tonight. Looking at our level of concern from Stubbs generators, we're still level 2. Meteorologist mark weather alert night. And we still have our threats that are the same from the 2 o'clock update. Still looking for mostly sleet to mix in with some snow. Main threat time frame be 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning for any issues that may arise with travel. Just keep in mind that it doesn't take much wintry precipitation to cause some slick spots, especially on bridges and overpasses. And for those of you across Overton, Pickett, and Fentress counties, you have the greater risk for having wintry weather impacts. And I would go as far as to say Eastern Putnam County as well, the Monterey area. I mean, if you've lived here more than a couple of days, you know Monterey Mountain can be a problem when no one else is. So those are your usual trouble spots. Now for Cumberland County, the latest guidance that has come in has pointed more to areas south of I-40, possibly staying above freezing through the morning hours. When I say above freezing, I'm talking like 33 degrees. But if you stay 33, you'll have no issues whatsoever. Accumulation forecast is the same, half-inch or less. And for those of you south of I-40, that or less may really come into play. The greatest risk for accumulation continues to look like areas of, say, northern Cumberland County, Fentress County, Pickett, Overton, and eastern Putnam counties. Now, in some of those areas, of course, you always get your isolated higher amounts, but I think a lot of sleet's going to mix in, and that really kills your snowfall accumulation. So you may not see much more than a dusting or so, but if there's a lot of sleet mixed in and some freezing raindrops, then that can really cause some slick spots on some area roads. Looking at our 24-hour temperatures, I'm not changed much with this since the last graphic, except to move the finger to show that you are here at the 7 o'clock hour. Temperatures are rising a little bit out there. My thermometer has jumped from 39 to 40 over the last hour. And so we'll see that kind of trickle on up. So I may top out at 41 at midnight instead of 40. But and then temperatures will start to slowly drop thereafter, and that's where we may get that mixed precipitation. Those of you who dropped down 31, 32 degrees earlier, you'll, of course, have more problems. And that's why those of you across Overton County, Pickett County, even Fentress County may see that wintry precipitation last a little longer and could then therefore have just a few more problems out of that. The only thing I changed on this graphic was our increased rain chances at 7 p.m. to 50% from 30% earlier. And I dropped wintry mix from 70% at 6 a.m. down to 50%. So it looks like the precipitation is really going to start trailing off once the colder air starts filtering in. So we see that quite often with situations like this. Most of it will fall as cold rain, and then as the rain is moving out, the cold air tries to sweep back in, and however much moisture the cold air can catch is how much it can change to a wintry mix. One thing, though, for sure, too, is that we're getting precipitation through the night, and it'll still keep falling even as temperatures fall. So any wet roadways could also pose problems as that colder air comes in and drops below freezing and freezes some of that water on the roadways. But again, Some of the guidance has suggested that, let's say, like the southern half of Cumberland County may stay at like 33, 34 degrees in the morning. And then you would have no problems in those areas. It's northern Cumberland County, Fentress County, Overton, Pickett, eastern Putnam County, where we stand the greatest risk of having problems. If the guidance is wrong and you all drop to 31, 32 in southern Cumberland County like the rest of us, then you too will be in play for some issues. I have speculated from the beginning that models may be underestimating the amount of cold air that's going to get pulled in behind this low based on the snowpack that's across the Midwest. Sometimes models underestimate the strength of that cold air. So that's something that may come into play in the morning and put more of us below freezing, maybe even longer than what the guidance is even showing right now. So we're going to park the snow day forecast at 50-50. I think the greater risk for a snow day is probably for you folks in Overton and Fentress County and Pickett County, maybe even Putnam with Monterey being in play. But I think everybody has about a 50-50 shot, to be honest with you. But I'm not comfortable going any higher than that. Maybe more of a day for delays. So again, rain is overspreading the mid-state at this hour. It will continue to do so throughout the night. A very cold rain, what some folks label as pneumonia weather. It's just a cold, damp night. Temperatures hanging out in the generally in the 30s, and then we'll see those temperatures drop as we get later into the night, changing precipitation over to a wintry mix. I'll keep a close eye on things. If there's any advisories issued or whatnot, I'll be sure and pass those along to you. Other than that, be very, very careful in your morning commute in the morning. Just treat the roads as if they do have icy spots with or without an advisory in place. Just take a look at that thermometer as you head out the door, and then be aware of colder spots that you may encounter. So I'll keep an eye on things. You all just stay safe, stay warm, keep it right here to Meteorologist Mark.